and welcome to the newscast, which offer you the most important events and headlines shaping our lives in Metropolis and Central Bohemian region. I'm Marcela Tomčíková and you are watching Praha TV Weekly News. The Prague collector network carries electricity, water and gas underground and protects the city from the need for extensive excavation work. 45,000 sensors are monitored 24/7 from the control room on Stanovážné náměstí. A connection between the center and the collector on the Hlavkové Bridge is currently being prepared.
93 kilometers of underground tunnels and corridors, 20 of which are in the center of Prague. This is not a metro, but a network of collectors that is extremely important for the capital city.
Collectors are underground that transport a variety of things, including electricity, optical cables, hot water, and many other utilities. This is a genius invention and a matter of great importance for Prague, because if you think about it, what can be repaired here and what would need street access if collectors were absent?
We also headed with a camera to one of the control rooms, specifically at Stanovážné Square, to see what it looks like in such a collector.
So now we are in the room. It's the central dispatch center. Here you can hear that we are having trouble understanding each other because the dispatcher is talking to someone again. This is where the collectors are controlled. We can manage all of Prague from this location, but today there are 3 dispatch centers.
Then we were in for a ride in the elevator, about 40 meters below the surface.
Now we are currently in the collector that supplies large profiles over long distances. That's why this collector looks the way it does. And there are also distribution collectors situated above us, which supply individual houses and then have a significantly smaller profile, with pipes and networks in smaller dimensions.
Here, of course, service and monitoring of the collectors takes place 24/7 using 3 control hubs that Prague has. The largest one, of course, is where we are now.
For faster movement in the collectors, this little machine is used. We are currently heading from Stanovážné Square under the Czech National Bank. After roughly 3 minutes of riding, we reach the site. The temperature has decreased, we can hear water flowing, and there is no one around. Still, we proceed with our inspection. There are a total of 45,000 various sensors located in the collectors. They monitor, for example, gas levels, humidity, temperature, or the movement of people.
It should be noted that there have been no serious accidents. Yes. In the past, gas leaks were detected in some sections using gas sensors here. But never from inside the collectors. It has always been gas entering the collectors from some other source. And it has always been resolved in time.
The system has about 2,500 kilometers of cables and also pipes. The pipes are then color-coded. Green is for water, blue is for air, and yellow is for gas. Even though the collector system in Prague has been developed step by step since the 1970s, it currently has adequate capacity. Nevertheless, work is still being done to connect the individual parts.
The collector system is more or less stabilized, but we are currently working on the project documentation for connecting the collectors in the center. This connection involves Stanovážné Square and the Hlavkové Bridge collector, which is already built and ready for reconstruction.
The management of Prague's collectors hopes this connection will bring heat from the central wastewater treatment plant, easily reaching the center of Prague.
The Central Bohemian Student Parliament was established. The new body is intended to give students a voice and support their involvement in public affairs. The Student Parliament is based on a student initiative and is supported by the regional leadership.
High school students from the Central Bohemia region now have their own voice, as the inaugural session of the newly established Central Bohemian Student Parliament was held at the regional office building. The students themselves, in collaboration with the regional leadership, contributed to its establishment.
Student participation is incredibly important, and I am very pleased that it succeeded. Becoming the chairman is more of a little bonus for me. In the 3 years I have been engaged in politics and involved in various projects, I have made many new friends. I've gained experiences not learned in school.
The new parliament gathers many delegates from various schools and towns in central Bohemia. Its goal is to strengthen the voice of students in the public sphere and to develop the engagement of young people.
This parliament is intended to be a link between the region and the students, as we believe that young people should have representation in the events of the contemporary world, and we believe that our proposals could contribute to that, to make the region a better place to live, not just for adults, but also for students and young people.
Alongside students, the inaugural session was attended by Central Bohemia's governor, Petra Pekova, and the education councillor, Milan Vacha. The region provides the parliament not only with facilities, but also with financial support.
In terms of finances, we are looking at a preliminary amount of 100,000 crowns annually for administrative and travel costs.
The governor perceives the new parliament as an opportunity for closer cooperation with young people, particularly on topics that concern them directly.
We are going to start a video initiative with 8 videos that will tackle misinformation. And these are significant issues. These issues are, of course, relevant to young people. And they can collaborate with us to create a campaign. So, to get the information to all youth.
The student parliament is organizing regular gatherings, thematic campaigns, and engaging communication with the public. The first step towards greater youth participation in the central Bohemian region is now officially underway.
Subsidized swimming pool tickets for seniors and people with disabilities are back. The Prague 4 district has relaunched a program of financial support for entry to the swimming pool in Podolí. Seniors will pay only a small part of the price, with the City Hall paying the rest.
Prague 4 has resumed its initiative to assist seniors and individuals with disabilities by providing subsidized swimming passes. The municipal office has provided financial assistance for access to the pool, especially at the Podolí swimming stadium, to ensure that physical activities are available to those who need them, who are in greatest need.
This project has been in existence since April 2008. During this time, over 8,000 swimming tickets worth 830,000 crowns have been provided to seniors. This is an initiative where we enable seniors to swim from April through December. Not for free, but they get 2 swimming tickets per month and cover a small part of the cost themselves, which indicates that we aim to ensure that it grows every year. So we make efforts in the direction that they pay less than 50%, and we subsidize them more than 50%.
Seniors pay just 40 crowns at the location, while the rest is funded by the Prague 4 municipality. According to local councillor Irina Michalkova, the goal of this initiative is to provide a healthy movement opportunity, unlike other projects.
Generally, most of our events, unless they are walks in Prague, are indoor activities. We shouldn't deceive ourselves about it. If it's not a dance afternoon, but rather something like the boat trips we organize, then the senior basically sits there for 2 hours. When we have various other events, they all take place in rooms where the senior creates something, either manually or learns something, so he is essentially sitting. This is one of those situations where they have the opportunity to move.
Those interested can request boat tickets directly from the district office. To obtain a discounted entry, it is sufficient to prove permanent residence in Prague 4 and be of senior age.
You are watching Praha TV Weekly News, and we offer you the main headlines in brief.
The Prague City Council has approved the reconstruction of a building on Rikanska Street in Vinohrady, which will be transformed into a mental health center. City councillors have today endorsed the construction plan, and the city will now commission the preparation of project documentation. The facility will primarily focus on prenatal care in relation to mental health, offering support to pregnant women, parents, children, and adolescents experiencing psychological difficulties. The estimated cost of the project exceeds CZK 24 million excluding VAT. Completion is anticipated in 2027. City districts are prepared for the enrollment of first-grade students. In most cases, they are able to accommodate all children residing within their designated catchment areas. Local authorities have arranged dozens of classrooms for incoming first graders. Districts such as Prague 2 and Prague 4 report having sufficient capacity. No issues are expected in Prague 6 or Prague 7. and Prague 8 and Prague 9 have also confirmed they can provide the necessary number of places. Enrollment for first grade is currently underway and will continue until the end of the month. A new football complex may be developed in Prague 8. The local district authority has signed a memorandum of cooperation with local sports clubs. The planned second league stadium is expected to have a capacity of approximately 5,000 spectators and will include additional training fields for youth teams. The facility could be established through a joint effort by Prague 8 and the clubs Sparta and Meteor, on the site of the current Bedřichovská football grounds in Libin. According to the district, the existing complex used by FK Meteor is in unsatisfactory condition. Prague 6 has launched a public tender worth CZK 500 million for the construction of a covered section of the Patinka swimming complex. Interested parties may submit their bids until May 5, according to the district spokesperson, Marek Zaman. Construction is expected to begin later this year and will include a 25-meter pool and a sauna center. The outdoor section of the complex is to remain accessible to the public during construction. The new pool will meet the standards set by the National Sports Agency for Modern Sports Infrastructure and will comply with regulations for international competitions.
Prague plans to increase the tourist tax that tourists pay for each night spent in the capital. Compared to other European cities, the current rate is significantly lower, only 50 crowns. Representatives of Prague and its districts are therefore calling for an increase that could bring the city up to 1 billion crowns a year.
Tourists currently pay a fee of 50 crowns per night for accommodation in Prague, but city officials argue that this amount should be increased as it is too low, not only in comparison to other European capitals, but also considering the possibilities for regulating tourism and funding public services.
In terms of fees, Prague is nearly a budget-friendly destination. This fee should also contribute somewhat to regulating tourism, similar to what is done in Budapest. In Budapest, the fee is €6, or 150 crowns. Warsaw and Vienna also have a fee of €9. So, you can add that to the costs, which is significantly more than in Prague. This fee can definitely be utilized effectively. We wish for the fee to be established currently, as it is a legal requirement. It should be between 100 and 150 crowns legally.
Based on analyses and comparisons with other cities, Prague proposed an even higher amount of 200 crowns per night. According to calculations, this could bring significant revenue to the city treasury. The money obtained from this fee is used by the city for maintaining public spaces, ensuring safety, waste management, and developing tourist infrastructure.
In our analysis, we evaluated 30 cities across Europe together with Prague City Tourism, revealing that the average cost per night in Europe is approximately 7 to 10 euros. Czech Republic's limit is 50 crowns per night, but we suggest 200 crowns, which could yield up to 1 billion crowns for Prague's budget. When it comes to the city district, we could potentially see an increase of around 100 million crowns in our income.
The Ministry for Local Development disagreed with the proposal, as Minister Kulhanek noted that the European standard is much lower, making any increase above it inappropriate.
I don't agree with this, as the accommodation fee range across Europe starts at €1. In extreme cases, it can go up to €6. But let's say at the standard level, we are really somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5 euros, whether in large European metropolises or appealing destinations across Europe. I believe that the Czech level of the possible accommodation fee cap is exactly in line with this European standard.
Ultimately, after discussions, Prague and the ministry reached a compromise, proposing a new fee of 100 crowns per night, which still requires approval from the Chamber of Deputies.
Modern platforms, photovoltaics and a roof the size of Old Town Square. The transformation of the Masaryk station in the center of Prague is continuing according to the plan. The first part should open to passengers this year, and the full completion plan stays for 2027.
A total of 9 tracks, modern facilities and a roof as large as the Old Town Square, where it will be possible to spend time. This is what Masaryk station will look like in about 2 years. Despite initial delays, everything is now proceeding according to plan. The builders are laying new foundations for the future platforms and also erecting columns for their roofing.
This is the early development of Platform 9, where trains will leave for Václav Havel Airport. We are here for the first time at the site, testing how to allow boarding from both sides of the train on this track. We expect a large number of people with bags arriving from Václav Havel Airport so we are trying to facilitate quicker boarding. Thus, we will actually allow trains to open doors on both sides simultaneously, enabling passengers to board comfortably and more quickly.
Construction is now proceeding according to schedule. I emphasize now because we were delayed by archaeological finds. And everything related to that, meaning not just conservation, but also some items had to be removed, so there was a slight delay. However, now it is back on track. The overall budget is around 4 billion, but due to the delays that had to be accounted for, it is increased by about 500 million crowns.
Here, we discovered relatively significant archaeological artifacts. Let me show you the pictures. Now we are already a meter or half a meter below us, where there were significant finds. We found a Gothic structure from the 15th century. We discovered remnants of old fortifications from the 17th and 18th centuries, including towers. We found generations. Each one had more development.
Masaryčka will remain a permanent key point for regional transport in central Bohemia, as well as for metropolitan transport. What it will bring new is the connection towards Kladno and the connection towards the airport after the completion of the new line, which we are working on intensively. A new important part of the city is being built here.
The platform that will cover the station will connect the streets at Florence and Hybernska, thus improving the connectivity of the entire area. On the platform, in addition to civic amenities, there will also be photovoltaic panels that will provide electricity for Masaryk station or the park, from where trains can be observed.
Up here on the platform, a public space the size of the Old Town Square will be created. Thus, it will indeed become a new, significant public area for Prague citizens and for all who come to Masaryčka.
A section of the upgraded railway station is expected to be accessible to passengers by the end of this year.
That were some of the most important weekly news. We hope you enjoy them. In case you are interested in something special and you would like us to cover that story, do not hesitate and write us either on redakce@prahatv.eu or through social networks. We are always happy to be in touch with you. See you next week.